officially the panel. Okay, so thank you very much for all you people. I hope some more people are going to be joining us because this is a very interesting session. And it's, as Arjit said, the only all-female panel. So there's a lot of estrogen on stage, and I think that's what's going to make the difference now. Because we have a group of women who are, I think most of them have a doctorate, if I'm not mistaken. And we have a young mommy as well. So I think it's going to be a very interesting session, and it's all about women empowerment. So this is a word that this phrase I've been listening to for a very, very long time. Women empowerment, gender empowerment, social empowerment, educational empowerment. It's all about empowerment. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, these phrases are just used. They are used because we want to get what should I say, sponsorship, or we want to be in the newspapers, or we want to be on media. So it's like a buzzword. But what it really means is something totally we have forgotten. So I would like to say that we're here to discuss our individual experiences, expertise, and our observations. We all come from different walks of life, nationality, culture, age. But what we have in common is our gender, our ability to bring new lives into the world, and our innate capacity to nurture generations of little humans to become phenomenal adults. So all women have a very, very large part to play in what's going to happen in the future. Okay? Because it's the mother, whether she's a working person, whether she's a businesswoman, whether she's in academics, who plays that very important and vital role. So for most women, we juggle more than one thing, and we do it very easily. It's part of our life, nothing important. Culture and religion, does that play an important role in what we do, how we do it, what are the opportunities available to us? The answer to some extent is yes. However, we are also very capable of finding ways where we can still achieve our dreams, our objectives, without really going out there and becoming warrior women and trying to break taboos and stuff like that. We have the capacity to do a lot in whatever circumstances we find ourselves. So, for me, empowerment means financial independence. So irrespective of whether you're a housewife, you're in academics, you are a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, housemaker, financial independence is empowerment. So for that, I think it's important for us to realize how are we as individuals, as females, actually going to achieve that. That is the important part, and that is what I do. I am a financial planner, and unlike the ladies over here, I don't have many degrees, but what I do have is experience. So when people ask me, I say to them, I have an MBA in life. And why do I say that? Because I'm 71 years old and I'm most probably the oldest person in this room. So I have the distinction of being that. And the other thing that I'd like to say is about taboos on age and stuff like that. I started my work journey at the age of 44, when nobody would give me an opportunity because I was too old. I was not qualified, I was not trained. And if I can do it, that is true women empowerment, and we are now going to be talking about that. So I have a very eclectic group of women, and I'm also one of those people who does things at the spur of the moment. So although I have a script, I don't normally follow that because life is quite unscripted. And so I'm going to move away from my script, and I'm going to ask each of my speakers to introduce themselves in 4 sentences. So now, starting with you, Doctor.
Thank you you so much, Doctor. Again, I'm so happy to be among you, and this time it's important, very important also, roundtable discussion with leaders, women, and to learn from them, to have also inspire girls, especially, and youth. So I'm Sadia Bakal, I'm CEO of Employer Industry Connect. We connect Canadian industry to the world through the delegation, diplomatic economic delegations. We organize business industrial and through continents, through cultures, and through industry, we have this connection to community bridge. And I have another hat. I am director, executive partner of a group of diplomatic investment. It's again to put together investors globally for projects more like 50 million and billions and billions. And also I am, as I have had to contribute as a mission to empower and support women globally for continents. We connect women through the industry of the future and the agriculture of the future. It's global women in our manufacturing and global women in agriculture. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Chandrima Chatterjee. I'm not very good in introducing myself, and I think I'll just stop here by saying that I am a co-founder of a company, and we are into shipping and logistics, trading, and a lot of things which is getting added every day as we move along in this journey. And hopefully in our discussions I will be in a position to tell you more about myself and things that we do and how it has empowered me as an individual and how I kind of disseminate that to the different stakeholders that we need already.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Loretta Sanders and I am an international speaker as well as a transformational coach. I also have a business where I work with people in helping them improve their speeches, their communication skills, and lastly, I also pastor a church here in Dubai.
Hello everyone. So I'm Professor Nada. I'm a professor here at SPJ School of Global Management. I am based in Dubai. I am also the head of ESG for our Dubai, Mumbai, Singapore, and Sydney campuses. I support women every day through education. I'm also the assistant dean of our EMBA, so I also coach our female students. I am a strong believer in empowerment through education. I have a project for empowering high school girls living in the rural area that I fundraised for as part of Rotary Geneva International, Rotary Switzerland, which I'm a member of this club, and I have launched it last year. It's in Morocco, rural area, in the area that has suffered from the earthquake, and it's using education to empower high school girls living in rural areas. I am also a mother of 3 kids.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mona Suleiman, social media influencer from Rats of Taiwan. I'm the founder of Green Cosmetics and ambassador of Emirates Football Club, Rats of Taiwan, and mother of 3.
Thank you very much, ladies, and I do appreciate the fact that you kept it short and sweet. Okay, so now we're going to get into our questions, and I'm going to be addressing the first set of questions to the doctors, not Loretta, but the ladies who are more into the academics and who are very much into research and stuff like that. So we're going to be starting with career. So what is career? This is a word we hear from high school, right? First, parents start dreaming what our career should be. Then school starts classifying us based on our aptitude. And then we have guidance counselors telling us what we should be doing, why we should be doing, what kind of degrees are good for us. And other factors that seem to matter are what's glamorous, what's prestigious, and what pays the most money. That's how we look at career, right? So as a counselor and a person in academia, Dr. Nala, what advice or guidance would you give to females who are, number one, still at university, and the second one is looking for a career change, career development, or is it really too late for that?
Thank you so much. Before talking about the student for university or looking for the career, I coach all these women as my experiences because we are in school of the life and what we can avoid the routes that we want to take. So the first advice is starting in the family, in the parents. So the child who is here, it's a girl or a boy, the reason that we can the prime give is the confidence. You are capable. It's very important because it's starting for how the child is with his family and how he's encouraged, how his eyes is on him or on her. So I intend for myself the goal present I give my parents and my father especially is to have this confidence, trusting myself that I can do anything I can design because we can design our life by ourselves and it's all happening inside. And have the possibility also after the confidence is to be honest with ourselves. We can be in transparency to see exactly what is the life we can have it. So before starting anything, I think it depends who we are. It's very important understanding who we are. By there, we can design what we want. And when we are, who we are, because we deal with society, we deal with people, with family, with friends. So when it's coming to study at the university, it's very important because education is changing what we are educating to the people. It's time to stand together to change why we are standing, what are we standing. From family, the second school is university or school. So it's very important as a student what I'm going to study to bring for even employee or entrepreneur. But what we see that it's a future here to look for what entrepreneurship. Give the chance for the girls. And entrepreneurship is starting also when we're studying something we like. So we can design it and the project as entrepreneurship. So we prepare entrepreneur through the university. We have research for something. When you get your diploma, launch it as a business. It's very, very important. And secondly, as an entrepreneur, it's important also to have the value that I know what I want. I know who I am. And I know what is the mission, the purpose. It's more important than business. And when you have this purpose, it will be easy. Even you have challenges, it's difficult, you have enemies, but you can achieve your objective, for sure. And we have some tools. It's about empathy. It's about to understand the other. It's about communication. It's about how we can transform the negative positive. And it's also about, you are in business, you want to launch it. Don't think, please, don't think about publicity price. Think a brand. You are a brand. And when you are a brand, you have to work on it. And when you work on it, it's what is the value you will bring for your clients? How you can satisfy your clients? This is the value. You don't need to copy any entrepreneur. We are all here with creativity imagine. Give yourself to imagine. You can imagine the future as you want, and you can imagine the success and you can work on it. So you can be stronger all the way we are because it's a trip. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no. Thank you for this question. So I agree very much with what Dr. Mansal has said. We notice the same thing. Actually, the statistics show that when it comes to bachelor's education, at least in developed countries, but then we don't have as many females accessing top level management, and we don't have as many females going for executive education. And what is the breaking point? The breaking point happens after a girl starts a family. And what happens is that we have some very clear gender roles across the world. Who is supposed to do what? Who is expected to do what? And these gender roles are what constrains female in the role of homemaker, even if the female is into a career, and the man into the breadwinner. And it's a lot of pressure on both sides, because the male today has the burden to be the main provider for the family. And the woman has that societal burden of being the main homemaker of the family. And it's pressure on both sides. And we need to open this societal norm for more fluidity, for more moving from one role to the next based on what we are comfortable with. So during COVID, and at the time of COVID, I was living in Switzerland, which is, quite developed. There is more gender equality, but still, we were noticing that the fathers were in a garage working from home, and the mother was working from home from the kitchen and doing the homework and the cooking as well. Same thing, the data from Singapore was showing that female academics during the COVID produced less research than male academics. So these roles are what constrain this movement or this career success. And this is not one's fault or the other's fault. It's just that's how we were raised. And how whenever there is something in relation to the kid or the family, the mother is the first to jump and say, I'll take it over. So what we are noticing from the university, at least here at SPJ, is that we don't have as many female, and I'm talking here about executive education, joining our meeting. We have 22% of females, and we are offering them scholarships to come and join, come and get more education. And still, it's very hard, because once you have a family, you cannot really take that weekend off to really go ahead and pursue this study. So I'm talking here about two things. I'm talking about our own limiting beliefs, and I do coach a lot of executive female. And what we are noticing is that they have a lot of limiting beliefs about what they can do and cannot do, what they can go for and not go for. So I always encourage our EMBA candidates to, same thing as what Dr. Nakhan said, first know who you are. Allow yourself to deep dive into yourself and know who you are and what you want beyond. And I do the same thing also with my male EMBA students. Know yourself. Knowing oneself is very difficult, especially that we keep on changing throughout life. So even us, we evolve. To get that freedom to do a deep dive and know who we are and what we want, what are the objectives we want to pursue is the first step. And once we have that clarity about where we want to go, and we authorize ourselves to dream and know ourselves better, then we set that objective and we go for it. And here we notice disparities between males and females. Males typically, they can know 20% of the topic or of the job, and then apply for that job. They'll go for it. They say, I'll figure it out. Females don't have that same behavior. They need to really be masters of that topic, really see that they have control over that topic to go for it. And this is coming back to the hunter-gatherer. This is really coming back to how the roles, because the female was the one to have babies, was the one to stay in the cave and take care of the baby. Even our sights, for females, we have better short-sightedness, and males have better far-sightedness, because traditionally they would go to and hunt, and then they would dare go and hunt for these prey to bring food to the table, while the females, they need to really master that cave and have short-sightedness and control everything. So we need to go beyond this upbringing, our gene, our DNA, how we have evolved as a human species, and really allow ourselves to open the door to new ideas, new thoughts, authorize ourselves. Because yes, we will face barriers, but imagine when we first have our own limiting beliefs that don't even allow us to get there and face those right to education and learning.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I would like Mona now, because we're talking about limited beliefs and all of those things. Mona, give us an idea about, you come from the UAE, there's your culture, there's your religion, you do respect your culture, you wear the hijab with a lot of pride. So tell us, how were you able to do what you wanted and still have the support of your family?
First of all, I do agree with Dr. that she said we do have internal barriers that we cannot get rid of so that we cannot go forward. But actually the thing is with me is it's kind of different because it's not only about the barriers inside you, because these barriers is coming from this society. Right? I have to change it has to come from the society. So when I started on social media, people think that the social media is a platform that you can have every brand coming to you and dealing with you and giving you money. So that's why you have to be an influencer in a sense of that you will be like really billionaire, you know. But from my point of view, because I'm a social media influencer, basically from outside, for 7 years I'm in this platform. Before that, I'm an actual daughter and mother and wife and employee working in a government sector. And the influencer part is kind of passion that I have, that's why I'm doing it. My working hours in the government is from 8 to 4. So just imagine that I'm starting my influencing thing after 4 o'clock till maybe midnight. And I have kids and husband, like not 3, 4 kids with my husband. And I'm having a family, I'm having even my own dreams to pursue. So it's all about that, how you deal with your inner barriers and the society. Ras Al Khaimah, I'm talking about 2015 when I started to have this platform. We did not have any female influencer, which is fully female, for the reviewing and to understand the needs of the society at that time. So I took the lead to be in this part, and yes, I faced many problems, not from my barriers, not from my family. They were actually supported, but from the society, because I'm kind of like, they know my sisters and brothers, and they are working in different kind of positions. So what they will think about what I want to do, especially the social media platform, maybe I can say that 60% is positive and 40% negative, and the 40% negativity is covering the 60% of the positivity. So I was doing the platform and doing the reviews, but without showing my face, and that was very hard because people cannot trust you when they don't have any eye contact, any body language, observations. So it took 6 months time for my family and for myself to convince them that I want to show my face to the people, and they should know who is behind the voice which is reviewing the things. So, and I was not married at that time. When I got married, my husband doesn't know that I'm social media influencer, and his family was following me, and they don't know that they don't know that I'm like getting married to him. So he got to know after marriage for several times, and he's supportive, by the way. And I'm from Ras Al Khaimah, he's from Sharjah, and we are having different backgrounds, but still we are managing somehow to deliver the best to the society and to our children. So the basic point of religion and culture is not religion and culture, it's the mind of the culture and the society actually, who are giving you as a person hard time to develop. And if you don't have the courage to face the society and to tell them that I can do it, you should not come to the social media platform to influence the people.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mona, for sharing that. And it's so true. People use religion and culture as an excuse, right? So, Dr. Chandrababu, would you please tell us why you went from corporate to entrepreneur, why you went from being a person who was interacting with other people and your husband to forming a partnership and what are the challenges you face?
Okay. To start with, I'm a reluctant entrepreneur. It was not a part of my plan at that point of time to start a company or, to really have some separate dreams or owning a company. It just happened. There was a situation, and at that point of time, I had to take the decision to be a part of the company. Now so you can understand, this decision was not taken by me. This decision was taken by my business partner, who also happens to be my husband. So the inequality started there. So I started with that. But yes, I'm very thankful for the opportunity. And we didn't know the road ahead. Just started like, okay. He had a plan, of course, but not for me. I was like, okay. Because I come from a very different background to start with. I have been into research. I've done my PhD in labor migration. I was a researcher most of my life, and also into policy advocacy. So some of my research findings actually went into the policy of migration policies in India and also adoption policies in India. So I worked on those, those stakeholders, lobbying, government. It was very different, and my husband was a corporate guy, totally corporate. He would send me messages and say, Shankar. So that I said, I have only one Shankar in my phone book. But that's the way. He's so corporatized. What I mean is so structured in his head. So we actually, to start with, we were from a very different field and even mind space in terms of work culture. So these two disparities on one platform. So it is challenges, challenges, challenges. Now the challenges are not just faced and some of the other, one of the other previous, panel discussions. There was a very valid point raised by one of the female, panelists about the corporate governance. And of course, when we started the company, there were a lot of conflict, individual conflict between the two partners. But as we, it's not to say individual conflict, because we were fighting gender stereotypes. There were cultural expectations. There were things like, even though I'm absolutely a 50-50 partner in the business, but when it came to certain decision making, when it came to certain meetings, or when it came to certain platforms, I felt, I don't know, to start with, maybe I felt this is my assumption, that am I being taken for granted, am I not being heard, or what it is. But yes, we had those moments. We had to unlearn and learn a lot of things. But for the sake of corporate governance, we had to learn fast. Because we are not facing each other. We are dealing with stakeholders as together. So yes, there were a lot of challenges between for this conflict resolution. And I must say that I don't know how many of you have really watched the show on Netflix, the Cleopatra, documentary of Cleopatra. There, if you see the dynamics of Cleopatra and Mark Antony when she was his wife, and he had to take orders from her. I won't go into the details, but the power dynamics the cultural, the socialization, that here is this lady that you have to take this feedback from, or orders from. I'm talking in that. So those are similar things which play out even on a regular day-to-day basis, and then you take that to your company. So yes, there were challenges, and as we moved along, we are learning, we are getting better in corporate governance, and we have now very structured conflict resolution.
Thank you very much. And now we come to my panelist who's sitting right in the center. And she has a very interesting story. And unlike most of us who are from Asia, Loretta comes from the United States, correct?
Correct.
So tell me, you very recently did a webinar, international webinar on financial planning. So could you tell us why that was so important? Because you have perspectives of different people from what's it called, the UK, the US, over here. So give us some insights on that.
So as I shared with earlier, that my platform is called Bold and Brave. It's for people who are bold enough to change their lives and brave enough to walk in it. And so what we did in the month of November is we spent the whole month learning about money and finance. Because if we're going to change the world, ourselves, our lives, we have to know how to manage money. We are all, Sandy, and I'm older than I look. So we can remember the times when our parents told us to take our money, put it in the bank, for us to, you hide it, you put it away, because that's all they knew how to do. They didn't know about investments, they didn't know about bonds, they didn't know how to do stocks. So these were the things that we were not exposed to, especially not in the African American community. So we did Bold and Brave Finance for the month, for that particular one, because we talked to people from various walks of life. Sandy, who was there, who started at 44, who started to build her finances at 44. We talked to a couple who are teachers, who are literally educators here, who taught themselves how to use index funds and now have money for retirement. We also spoke to someone from the UK who talked about mortgage investments. So the key to financial freedom and financial advancements is first to understand the foundation of finances. The gentlemen were here earlier, they were talking about crypto and blockchain and all of those things, which are fabulous, and which most of the world are moving to those. But if you don't understand the basic foundations of investment, if you don't understand how the stock market works, if you don't understand index funds, taking your money, putting it into crypto or blockchain or going into any of those things would not be advisable until you understand how the market works. Then you could go into those things. So my goal and my platform is to help people after they've made the decision. Okay, I want to change my finances. Okay, this is how you do it, ABC, XYZ. I'm no longer the victim of assault. My mind is changing. How do I have healthy relationships? Let's talk about how do you build a healthy relationship. So that's the platform and the space that we work in, and that was the premises behind Bold and Brave Finance that we did in November.
Thank you very much, ladies. I've been told by the organizers that we're running out of time, but thank you very much, because each one of you has been able to share some relevant points which are not overlapping, and I think which are important for all of us, whether we are male or female, to understand and to take forward. So I want to just end on one last point, and it's dealing with genetics. So there's a very famous geneticist here in the UAE. Her name is Dr. Mariam Matar. And whenever she stands up, she says one thing which I'm now going to repeat, so if you could hear it. Intelligence. When you hear about somebody, oh, that person is so intelligent, that child is so intelligent, and whatever else. Here's the thing. Intelligence is passed from the mother. So all the daddies, please don't take credit. All the mummies, please do take credit, because you are the ones who pass on the intelligence to your children. So on that wonderful note, thank you very much.